وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بك يا أخي, بارك الله فيك. You're asking about the transgender. Look to me, my dear brother, I would like to give you the answer in a brief, simple way, and believe it doesn't matter much you research, you return back to this fact and reality. The transgender people, akhi, they are unable people in terms of they couldn't adapt to their society with the normal ways out of many reasons. So they decide to make their own society out of psychological problem. What I mean is, there are kind of people who they are unable to adopt in the society with the normal ways out of a reason sometimes come from them and sometimes come from this society itself. For example, it's not easy to survive in this specific society. It's too rough and harsh life. So with this way, let us make our own society. You understand? Like they said, the societies today, it's too plain, with too plain color, either white or black. Let us make our society which is full of colors, rainbow society. That's why their flag always full of colors. For example, to make it more clear to you, imagine you have a house. It's your own house. One of your family members start to be different in terms of his behavior. So you decide to kick him out of the house. After that, he tried to return back. You order him to fix his behavior. It's not acceptable. So in place of fixing himself and adapt again to the society like a normal people, he decided to make his own out of your door. So he called the similar people like him who they face the same problem. So the transgender, he is not in a normal society and he is not inside the normal society. They live in their own imagination and in their own illusion. Simple as that. Out of what? Out of a psychological problem. Simple as that. Because they cannot fix themselves to be normal. So they said, if it's like that, means we are abnormal. And they continue this kind of imagination and shaitan way, the devil, until they become like how you see them. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The transgender is an evidence that the person have a mental problem. That person have a hatred for the society, for the normal society. The person have a hatred for himself. The person, he doesn't have a peace with anyone, include himself, till the end. In general, it's one of the very obvious psychological problem today. We have it among those kind of people. Simple as that, ya akhi. Okay, question. The transgender issue is something new or something that we know it since long time ago? The answer is absolutely. It's an old issue. But everybody should realize it's an old issue in terms of everything else. All these kind of problems we have it in the society, in the world today, is not something new. The root of it is something that we know it since the old histories. But you should know that whatever you see in front of you in terms of the crime word, in terms of taking advantage, in terms of volume, unjust situation, whatever disaster you see in the world, you must know in our time it's much worse than before, even if the root was existing before. For example, legalizing the transgender, and they do the best to make them adopt in the society like how they are and go against the natural state and the fitrah that Allah created in the humans. This wasn't like this before. Wasn't even 20, 30, 40 years ago. It wasn't like that. Now in lots of countries, which they call the first line countries in the world, it's a condition for you to be a normal is to accept them, otherwise you are not. Amazing flipping for the natural state, but absolutely it cannot be. I guarantee for you 100% cannot be. So simple as that. And not just for this, not for transgender, for anything. Simply, the world in the history of humankind never been worse like how it is today. Even though it been worse, it been bad many times, but worse like how it is today never reached. There's no one book or of history among Muslims, Christians, whatever, who they wrote history, who they described the world, was like how it is today. Never happened. Okay, question. Do you know what is the most largest country include those kind of sick people? The answer, it's a country that either too much in terms of rough life, a place that where the life is too rough until many people they cannot adapt to the society, so they decide to take this kind of path and to make their own imagination, own society built on their own imagination, or a society that he already too much in terms of everything connect with the sexual behaviors and actions, till they go to this kind of path, because the demand already higher than normal, because normal sexual life doesn't please them normally, so they decide to go out of the natural state. Simple as that. You understand? I give an example. Do you still remember قوم لوط? أخي, in قوم لوط عليه الصلاة والسلام, his people, absolutely they didn't reach to the level of demanding for liwat and man to man, and they became like that as a society searching for it. They didn't reach to that level until already they are so bored of the normal way of intercourse and sex. Simple as that. The evidence of that, you still remember when Lut alayhi salatu wasalam offered them, he said, هؤلاء بناتي إن كنتم فاعلين. Look to the women, lots of our women in the tribe and in the town are widow, singles, have no man, because you are not looking for them after that. He said, after that, he said to them, look to the women that we have, go and marry the woman. The woman is Allah, yeah, go marry the woman. Why are you looking after men? They replied to him and they said, ما لنا في بناتك. They said, we don't have anything to go with those women. We don't desire them. ما لنا في بناتك من حق وإنك لا تعلم ما نريد. We don't have anything to do with those women because we don't desire them anymore. They finish with them. They are so bored of our normal ways of intercourse. They want something more different. Ajib, la ilaha illallah. And that's what's happening. That's why I'm asking you, do you know the largest number of those kind of sick people where they exist is in countries like that? For example, according to the huge population, or to the small, according to the population of the place or the countries, the largest number is in US. in US. They mention that San Francisco is the paradise of the transgenders. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Why is that? Because the life in America is too rough, brother, too rough. And in that place, just as simple as that, you can get whatever you want, Allah Alaihi Wasallam, in terms of sexual treatment. For example, this is among the West. Also, Brasilia is among the largest. Why? Because the life there is just, as I said, it was too rough. A perfect criminal life system there. The crime in Brasilia is just organized like normal countries. Can you see? And this will lead for people to demand for something not usual in terms of sexual treatment. Same thing, يا أخي, in Asia, Thailand and Japan. To the end, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this came out of this, simple as that. What's the hukm in Islam? In Islam, this is not acceptable at all. Not acceptable at all. And the person who tried to modify his gender out of his psychological thinking and problem, excuse that he couldn't adopt the society properly, need to be advised, need to be corrected, and need to be helped to remain normal among the community. And if he decide to continue his path and his way, he will be excluded and neglected and isolated and quarantined, because it's dangerous for himself or for others. In terms of what? Even if he's not practicing the ma'asi and the sin and the fahisha and the liwat, even if he's not practicing it, he need to be quarantined. Do you know why? Because Allah created the human like a bird. They take from each other and they live from each other. Can you understand what's happening to Qawm Lut? We're talking about Qawm, people, tribe, all, no exception except Lut and his family. Allah, وَنَجَّيْنَا لُوطًا, only Lut and his family. فَمَا وَجِدْنَا فِيهَا غَيْرَ بَيْتٍ مِّنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Allah said in Qawm Lut, the only people who they are normal is the house of Lut. Without the house of Lut, him and his family only. The rest all sick already, psychological problem. Do you know why? Because human, they take from each other, they learn from each other, they go influenced and infected from each other. You feel it or you don't feel it. That's why this kind of people need to be isolated, quarantined. Why? So they didn't affect others. That's why one will drag other, and two will drag third, the third will drag four. It's like that. From this we need to what? Isolate them and quarantine them. And this is what Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala did. And before that, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Umm Salama sahihain, then Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and others. However, we knew that he started to turn and to ban to that dangerous path need to be dealt seriously. And this without him committing the fahisha. If he's committing the fahisha, that is different scenario, different issue. Different issue. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In general, my dear brothers and sisters, I would like to ask you a question. Do you know why the world, the system is forcing the people to accept those kind of transgenders, to accept this kind of people? Do you know why? The answer is because absolutely they are the result of this system, corrupted and dangerous system. They are the normal result for it. They are the normal result for it. And to continue, absolutely we're going to have more and more and more from them. Absolutely. What I mean is, when you are in a system, excuse the raper, doesn't matter how much he's raped, doesn't matter how much he raped, excuse him because of an excuse of a mental problem, we're going to have this kind of results. When you are in a system, push the woman and the lady push her hard to be like a man, then she became like a man, and she started acting like a man even out of her desire. We're gonna have lots of those kind of people. Simple as that. It's just an example. The reasons how those people been created because of this system is many and a lot. When the zalim, the unjust, been agreed and accept his unjust on others, we're gonna get a result like this. Simple as that. That's why the system will never accept to fix himself. No, he will force you to accept him like how it is. Why? Because the people that use the system, they want it like that. It's in their benefit. They will never accept for their benefit to be minimized or shorted. Simple as that. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This topic is huge, ya akhi, and big, and the Muslim should know exactly where he stands and what's happening around him. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Anyway, my dear brother, I would like to say to you that have lots of people who they being transgender, and when they realize the truth and the facts, they come back like normal. But you know what? Unfortunately, the system will never expose them because they are dangerous, because they became normal. They became normal. You understand me, you know? And he always will expose those people who they became abnormal in somehow, protect them, encourage them, or whatever, because it's in his benefits. Simple as that. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. System that accepts for people to take advantage. If they allow to the system, we're going to have this reality and this kind of results. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ikhwani fillah, the Muslim should know where he stands in this place and in this issue. And it's enough for you to know all the religions that came from Allah Ta'ala saying the same about it. The most amazing thing, even in this kind of religions which have been changed totally, this issue is remain the same. Doesn't matter how much they try to deny it. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. فيا أخواني في الله, you need to learn how you educate and advise those people. Maybe Allah guide through your hands. And at the same time, you need to know exactly what's the board and the correct stand with them. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.